It's time for the Home Plate Report, sponsored by Pemco Insurance, for the love of prevention. The Mariners wrap up a 3-game series against the A's today as they try to get back in the win column. Terry Holloman is here to talk a little baseball with me in today's Home Plate Report. Hello, my friend.
Well, hey there. How are you?
Great. I love talking sports with you, and now we're talking baseball. The Mariners.
Whole new sport, whole different thing. I know. I put on the hat and the hoodie, so
Your
that means
swag is looking on point.
That means I must know something about baseball now, right?
I think so.
Man, we'll see.
Mariners, a little streaky this season. They win some games, they lose some games. Then the cycle kind of repeats. Is winning or losing contagious in sports? Because obviously you've played.
Yeah, I think obviously it is, especially when you're talking about baseball. I think particularly it's more so with baseball. We talk about momentum all the time when we talk about the Seahawks and we talk about football. But I think momentum is really more vitally important when you talk about baseball. Guys get streaky, they start hitting a lot, bats get hot, and then when they go dead, I mean, that catches on. Unfortunately, I think the guys start really pressing and trying to do things that they shouldn't be doing, chasing balls that they shouldn't chase. And so, again, it gets streaky. So momentum goes good and bad.
Definitely. And how do you mentally get past like several bad games in a row, as an athlete?
Well, I mean, it goes back to the old saying. It's like, next play, right? You take everything else that just happened and you flush it. In football, you get bad plays and, you have to flush it. But in baseball, you get the next pitch. We got to think about every single pitch is a new pitch. Every single inning is a new inning. So the things happen just like that. You got to have a short memory when it comes to some of the bad stuff that happens. So flush that last thing and let's move on to the next one.
Short memory like a goldfish.
That's right.
The Mariners dropped their second game in a row yesterday against the A's. Their offense has been pretty inconsistent and their bullpen is continuing to struggle a bit. But you have to hand it to the A's. They're a good young team who've been in the rebuilding stage for years. What do the Mariners need to do to win the last series?
The last game of the series is really important for, you look at these guys, they're all in the AL West, and so that league is very competitive. So the Mariners really need to pull at least one out. And one of the things that they've been struggling with, especially in this season and in this particular series, is leaving guys on base. A lot of guys are able to get on base and get in scoring position, but then we get down into the lineup and we're not able to bring those guys home. So I think that's the biggest key for the Mariners in this game, being able to pull out one of the three in this series versus the A's. Get these guys off base and get them home, man.
Yes. Yeah. Come on, let's make it happen today.
And again, one of the things that they need to do in order to do that, you get some of these guys that are down deep into the lineup, a lot of them are swinging for the fences, right?
Yeah.
And I think maybe we should, play a little small ball. Get that ball, get it on the ground, dump it into some of the gaps, and get our guys home. Sacrifice some flies and bring these guys home.
Get it in play somehow.
Yeah.
Let's look at the division standings, too. The A's are in first place, followed by the Rangers. The Angels have dropped to third place after a strong start, followed by the Mariners. And then the Astros in last place. Is anything surprising you here? Because the division is pretty tight. Only 3.5 games separate first place from last place. So truly, everyone's in it.
Everyone's in it. Here's the thing about baseball that I've come to learn. And I've known this for years, and everybody that's out there watching this. There are 17,000 games in the season. We're at what, game 21, 22? Like just a few, we're just starting. The season is in its infancy. So we're looking at the teams right now where they're set up. Houston is at the bottom. The Athletics are at the top. By the 2 weeks from now, it's going to be flip-flop. And then 4 weeks from now, it's going to be flip-flopped again. So again, it's about longevity and staying consistent and which team is progressing and getting better as the season goes on. So I don't expect this to look like this at the end of the season at all.
Definitely not.
Yeah, so things are going to change.
I agree. It's early, people. Don't panic. Let's look at the team leaders. This is always fun. Right now, the Mariners have two guys that are dominating the team stats. Luke Raley is leading in home runs and RBIs, and then Randy is leading in hits, batting average, on base percentage, and stolen bases. Both of them are hitting, though, pretty far down in the order. So do you think it's time for Dan Wilson to switch things up and start having them hit more often,
earlier in the line? For sure. I mean, I think, again, we're so early in this season that, they can afford to experiment with some new things. And you look at these guys, they're hitting the ball. They're doing very well. And it's weird because we look at some of the big guns that we have on this team. We have some of the best players at bat in the entire Major League Baseball. We got, Raleigh. We got Raleigh back there. We got Julio down there. And so, these guys are kind of in a little bit of a slump right now. Why not switch that thing up a little bit, Wilson? Put our guys like Luke up there at the front,
Yes.
Get these guys on base, and then put some pressure on some of the opposing pitchers to really pitch to our guys.
Yes, and let's take a look at the week ahead. The Mariners have their third game against the A's this afternoon. Then they hit the road for another road trip. They have 3 games in St. Louis and then 3 games against the Twins in Minneapolis. Anything noteworthy about these two teams?
Well, I know that St. Louis has traditionally been a tough place for the Mariners to play. They're going to have to get their stuff together tonight, versus the A's, and figure out where they're going to go moving forward, see if they're going to switch that lineup a little bit. And again, they're going to need to bat guys in, bring guys in. They're going to get guys on base, but they're going to have to get deep down into the lineup and bring guys home. And again, the pitching, they got to get these starters are doing a good job, but they're doing a lot of pitching. So the guys that are coming in as a relief, they got to do their job and close out these games.
Absolutely. Before we leave, fans loved those Cal Raleigh 70s jerseys.
Oh, yeah.
If you had to pick your best giveaway of all time, what would it be? Do you have any ideas?
Oh, man. So I was thinking about Cal Raleigh, and I think, they did that. The jersey was awesome. I think they should give away, like, a little mini dump truck. Like a little Tonka truck, right? With
Cute.
the Cal Raleigh on the side, with a picture of him, like, with his hand on his hip, like this.
Done.
Yeah, give me the Cal Raleigh dump truck.
Thank you so much, Terry. That's a perfect segue. Okay. And it might not feel like wildfire season just yet, but we're only a week away from Wildfire Awareness Month, and Pemco Insurance is reminding Northwest residents that now's the time to be thoughtful about how you can protect your home. Here's an easy task you can tackle this weekend. Clear the dry leaves, pine needles, and debris from your roof, gutters, and around your home to reduce fire risk. For more tips on how to protect your home from wildfires, just visit the website that you see right there on your screen.